Hi, everyone. I'm Sabrina Dami. This is 13 Now, your afternoon update here on News Channel 13. On this Tuesday, August 23rd, it is primary day take two. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But first, a check on your forecast because we actually had some rain once again in some spots. In fact, Paul, you were a short time ago saying you were going to take a walk, but you were trying to time it out to make sure you got that walk in before the rain started. What are you, like a meteorologist or something? You knew it was going to happen.
sometimes it pays to have the radar, right?
Right.
Time things out. We had some heavier downpours right in the metro area, and those have since moved on and now back to sunshine. But other places are still getting hit pretty hard with some beneficial heavy rain. Nothing severe, so that's great. We can get the rain we need without anything too substantial in terms of flooding or severe winds. Check this shot out. Yeah. You're going to put it up right here. It is. This is the CDPHP shot out of Pittsfield looking southwest into the latest heavy rain shower going on in South County here, Berkshire County. And they've already picked up a whole bunch of rain across parts of the county. A lot of thunder and lightning around Lee and Lenox in the last half hour to 45 minutes. And you can see on the radar the action that's been passing by in the last hour, the burst of rain and rumbles of thunder through Schenectady and Albany up toward Clifton Park and Schaghticoke and now off into Washington and Bennington counties. We're still watching some pretty decent thunderstorms in the eastern part of Berkshire County now. Again, not severe, but very heavy downpours out by Jacob's Pillow and Beckett and 90 on the Mass Pike as you move past exit 10 and out towards Springfield. Additional scattered showers up in the Washington County Fair area around Greenwich in Washington County, and then back down toward Greene County, a thunderstorm moving toward Catskill in the Hudson Valley. Additional activity still out to our west, rotating around a big upper level disturbance that's moving through central New York right now around the Syracuse area up toward Watertown. That whole thing has to pivot through here before we can really see any substantial change. So if you have plans for the late afternoon, for the early evening, certainly include the potential for some showers, some heavier downpours, and maybe even some thunder and lightning. So the forecast looks unsettled for the next several hours, going up to about 80 with some breaks of sunshine, and then we'll slide back through the 70s. A very tropical feel out there late this afternoon and into the evening with the dew points high, the showers coming down. Kind of feels like the Bahamas, at least the Bahamas north, as we get into the next few hours, a little bit of a tropical feel. And then overnight tonight, we start a drier trend, and this is going to set us up for a great midweek. Look at Wednesday, lots of sunshine. Thursday, we'll do it again. High pressure and control means more sun. Highs both days will be in the 80s before we see the next front approaching from the west. So the rest of today will feature those showers and possible thunderstorms. We'll start a drying trend tonight down to 65 for an overnight low. A little bit of fog tomorrow morning, then a mix of sun and clouds. Humidity kind of hangs out a bit. It really doesn't get pushed out of here too much. Thursday looks dry and comfortable. It's 87. Friday, the next chance of a passing shower or storm. Then look at the weekend. We've hit it right so far this time this summer with temperatures in the 80s and lots of sunshine. So it looks like even as we get through the latter stages of August, summer's still here in full force, and it's going to feel like it.
Yeah, timing of that out perfectly. So people, Paul, if they're trying to head to the polls, get those votes in on this second primary day, they may have to contend with those pop-up showers.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way to put it. Pop-up, you may be driving in and it's dry, and then you have to wait 15 minutes in the car or just head out with the umbrella to get into the polling place. Not everyone's going to get it, but quick shot here. But just as quickly as they move in, they move out.
All right. Thank you very much, Paul. We'll see you live at 4. Thank you.
Okay.
We do have some breaking news coming in from Colony Police right now. They're trying to find out the name of a woman who was hit and killed by a car on Central Avenue last night. This woman was walking on Central Avenue near Fairfield Avenue, which is right near Osborne Road. Police say she was walking along the center lane. She was hit and she died at the scene. The driver, police say, is cooperating. He was not impaired, they say. The woman killed did not have ID on her, so they're trying to find out her name, trying to find out who she is. So Colony Police just sent us these pictures of some tattoos. Take a look at your screen right now. They're saying the 2 pictures that you see, one with the word love with a small red rose on the right ankle, and the other one with the words Jade Diamond across her inner wrist. Police say this woman is between 40 and 50 years old, about 5'6". So again, if you have any information about what you saw, if you're in that area last night around 8:30 last night on Central Avenue, give Colony Police a call. So we said today's primary day, take two. Again, we are taking this second primary day after redistricting, changed a lot of things. So the first one was back in June. This is the second one. Our crews, from what they've seen so far at the polls, things are pretty slow in terms of voter turnout. Two big races we are following. One, the special election for the 19th congressional district. Again, two candidates facing off to fill the seat that was held by Antonio Delgado. He, of course, was picked by Governor Kathy Hochul to become the lieutenant governor. Republican Mark Molinaro and Democrat Pat Ryan are facing off, two county executives. This race is being talked about nationally, really as a litmus test to see how things may go in congressional races come November after the Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade. This is the first congressional race that the country really has since that decision. So a lot of people across the country paying attention to this. Now, the other big race we are following is the Democratic primary that will decide who will challenge Congresswoman Elise Stefanik in November. So my colleague Mark Mulholland is here in the 13 Now studio. You talked to both candidates yesterday, the tale of two Matts. And one kind of they both had a clear message that the goal is to really unseat Elise Stefanik.
Yeah, neither was taking each other. Good afternoon, Sabrina. Neither was taking each other on so much as they were taking on Elise Stefanik. And I should mention that I voted this afternoon. I dodged the rain, waited for the rain to subside. So Paul will be happy to hear that. We had a frog choking gully washer up in Wilton this afternoon. But I went in and voted, and I asked how turnout was. And I heard you say that turnout has been light. But at my polling place in Wilton, it was not that light. I'd asked the poll workers, and they said just before 1 o'clock, they'd had about 200 people come in, which is not that few when you consider that there are very few contested races. The 19th, in my district, which is now the 21st, is no longer in Saratoga County. This is all very confusing.
It's so confusing. And I think that's the one thing we're wondering too. Are people confused going to the polls?
What impact that is going to have. Yeah. So the 21st is currently held by Elise Stefanik. Elise Stefanik used to represent a large portion of Saratoga County. That has now been redistricted into Paul Tonko's district. Paul Tonko is involved in a primary now with Rostislav Rar, a relative unknown. So there is a Democratic primary in the 20th in Saratoga County. However, as you mentioned, I'll get to the point eventually. New York 21 has a Democratic primary between Matt Castelli and Matt Peterty. Matt Castelli is a 41-year-old from Poughkeepsie, now living in Glens Falls. He's a graduate of Catholic school in Poughkeepsie, graduated from Siena College in 2003. Matt Peterty is born and raised in Whitehall. He's 38 years old. He went to Boston College and then went on to Fordham Law. He is openly gay, and he has been an advocate for the LGBTQ community. But again, both of them are taking on Elise Stefanik. It's almost as if there was not a primary, because each of them in their campaign ads, which are seen on News Channel 13, they take on Elise Stefanik more than they take on one another. This is an interesting race in that Castelli has the endorsement of all or most of the 15 county chairs in the district. Peterty does not. Peterty has said if he does not win, he will support Castelli. Castelli has not said the same thing. In fact, Castelli has what's called the moderate party line. So he's going to be on the ballot, win or lose tonight anyway. We'll be following it closely.
I mean, you've been, covering politics around here for a very long time. So from what you've seen, first, what's your prediction, I guess, of what you think may happen tonight? And then come November, do you think there's even a shot at either of them, whoever does win, taking on Elise Stefanik and unseating her?
Well, Castelli would have to be the favorite because he has the endorsements of the party, and it's a primary. As far as November is concerned, this might be telling, and I almost hesitate to tell this. The Daily Mail has done a story recently about Matt Castelli perhaps being a womanizer, but they only identify the sources of the story were all anonymous. So that's why I hesitate to tell the story. And Castelli is charging that this is purely Elise Stefanik's campaign, putting something out there that is patently false. So we'll touch on that a little bit in our special coverage tonight. But if that's the case, then Stefanik may view Castelli as a threat. We'll see.
Mentioned our special coverage tonight. We are going to have a panel here of political pundits who really, are really well versed in what's going on, and they have their hands on it. So they're going to share their thoughts on what may happen tonight, and also what may happen come November. From
we have it all covered tonight.
We have it all covered. Mark, thank you for being here with us and sharing your knowledge of this race and general knowledge. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Sabrina.
All right. So as Mark said, our extensions coverage does begin later on tonight. And on your screen now, you can see at 10 o'clock, we have an hour long on My 4 where we will dive into these races a bit more. And then live at 11 on News Channel 13, you can hear more of our coverage. And of course, as the results start coming in, we will share those with you live on air. So that is 13 now on this Tuesday afternoon, primary day take 2. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you live at 4.